Hi, this is an overview of the Coniston Swimrun, the full course starting at Brown How on the west side of Coniston Water. Short sprint and then straight into the water, swimming over to Water Park, and then our first kind of road section, one of the only road sections really on the entire course before we get back in the water. If you notice the island there, that's Peel Island, but it was made famous as Wildcat Island in Swallows and Amazons. So now we're heading north. This is the Cumbria Trail. It's a very nice route, nice sort of undulating terrain through the sort of the foresty parts that we have on this side of the lake before we hit the jetty and head back into the water, swimming across the lake. There's actually going to be an aid station here, I think it's the first aid station, before we head up into Rydal Forest, the stone cottage that you run past on the left, and then we're going to head back down towards Coniston Water for our final swim in Coniston. You might notice a built-up area that we run through. That's actually the Swallows and Amazons tea room. There's also a car park at the top of Coniston Water here. So now this is the start of the longest run section on the course itself. There is another aid station. In fact, there's two aid stations sort of in and close by to Rydal Forest here. So we're running up. This is Monk Coniston Moor, heading over towards Moor Top, where there's a car park, but also you'll find just here, you'll find the second aid station, excuse me. And then we'll head down. So you've just sort of done effectively a few hundred meters of climbing. Now we're kind of heading down towards the east side of Rydal, and then we'll eventually leave Rydal Forest, but still run through sort of several forest or woodland areas before we start heading up towards far Sawry. So we're essentially running the reverse of the Montaigne Rydal Marathon at this point. There's a little bit of road section there before we turn right back into the forest. It can get quite boggy or swampy in that forest, but there are some sort of wooden panels there that you can run across. That's the Cuckoo Growl pub. It's also a aid station there, so that's going to be our third aid station. Now heading down into Windermere. This is the first swim of Windermere. Heading north, this is a really good trail. It's very nice terrain. You might see some mountain bikers as well as walkers on this. It can be a popular area, but in September it'll be relatively quiet. And then heading north up the west side of Windermere, back into the water. You'll see a castle. This is Wray Castle on the left hand side. It's actually going to be our fourth aid station at this point as well, and then back in the water for the final swim of Windermere. And then some easy running, a little bit of undulation again. We're going to head towards Clappers Gate, which is just outside of Ambleside on the right hand side. Cross the road, final big climb I think of the route. It doesn't go over Loughrig Fell, but it is sort of very close to it on the left hand side there. And we're now heading down towards Rydal Water, where there is the final aid station, I think just before you get into Rydal Water itself. This is our first and only swim of Rydal. It's quite a warm lake because it's quite shallow. And now we're heading sort of north-west over towards Grasmere. Fairly long swim across Grasmere. It's a lot deeper than Rydal, so it won't be as warm. And then back onto a bit of a road section here, which will take us over to the finish in Grasmere. Thanks.